When did we make women in society so lazy and disgusting? That is why you're probably not changing. You're watching all these glow up videos, wondering why I can't change. Your glow up is going to require you to sacrifice. Your glow up is going to require you to do a lot of internal work. It's going to make you very emotional because you're going to realize a lot of things that you lacked in your life. Some people didn't get enough love growing up. Some people didn't get enough attention. There are so many things that you suffered from in your childhood leading up to where you are now. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly why you are struggling with glowing up and creating the life of your dreams. Many women over the ages of 25 are currently struggling not only emotionally, mentally, physically, dealing with tons of hormonal issues, gut health issues, weight issues, tons of issues that are affecting your everyday life, affecting how you feel about yourself, how people treat you, how you even treat yourself or view yourself. I'm going to point out 5 things that I used to struggle with before changing my life, glowing up, reinventing myself. 5 common reasons that you may be struggling with, and here is where you begin to change it all. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and for all those who are returning, welcome back. You know, I keep it straight up on here because I'm always rooting for you to become your healthier, happier, and hotter self. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and let's get into the video for why you are currently struggling with changing your life of your dreams. Number 1 is going to be lack of guidance, lack of mentorship, lack of knowledge or wisdom that you needed while growing up. I'm sure you watch tons of glow up, reinvent yourself, become your higher self, manifest this kind of videos. You're looking for advice, you're looking for guidance on how to make better choices, on how to feel better about yourself, how to glow up, be magnetic and attractive. And a lot of the times you don't even realize that because of lack of guidance, lack of knowledge, this is why you're struggling. Personally, for me, I didn't grow up with vulnerable parents. My mom wasn't as vulnerable with me, so I feel like we didn't really connect on a lot of girl to woman stuff that I should have known as I was aging. And my dad, he was kind of absent. He was not that consistent with me or my other siblings when it came to parenthood. I would see him sometimes, and then other times he would disappoint me. He wouldn't show up. So I feel like as I was aging into adulthood, I didn't have a lot of guidance. I also did not know about nutrition. I didn't know about fitness. I didn't have parents. Even back then, it wasn't even a thing to even go to the gym. It wasn't a thing to eat well or check your groceries or live a certain way or protect your mental health or protect your peace. Now, growing up in these times, we see that the digital era is changing our mental state. It's changing our mental and emotional capacity. It's changing relationships. It's changing friendships. A lot of people are suffering and struggling inside, and it's really impacting your relationship, not only with the outside source, but with yourself. As I mentioned my story, I want you to understand that I don't blame my parents for the lack of guidance because all of the choices that I made in my past, good or bad, a few of them may be shameful actions, things that I'm not that proud of in my past. I'm sure you've made choices in your past that you are not proud of. When I started my glow up journey about 5 to 6 years ago, I started out with working on the parts of me that lacked. I started out with acknowledging that I needed to become the woman of my dreams. I needed to become the woman that I once needed. A woman that needed to change her character, her behavior, her attitude, and not hold on to the past. And also not blame my parents. They didn't know better at the time. And this is how you're going to be able to break generational curses. This is how you're going to be able to break generational cycles where a lot of people struggle with obesity in their life. They struggle with high blood pressure or high cholesterol. They struggle with mental health because it's been passed down in generations because no one took that moment. No one took a moment in their life to stop and say, hey, I'm going to break the cycle. And when you decide that you're going to break the cycle, it requires change, and change is hard, right? We have to then leave the past behind. We have to learn new habits. We have to be consistent with those habits and creating better patterns and structures in your life. And so a lot of you guys are struggling because you are holding on to baggage from your past. You are holding on to blaming your parents. You are holding on to a lot of past limiting beliefs, a lot of past baggage, rather than holding yourself accountable to the human and the person that you are right now, that you can change your life. Your glow up is going to require you to sacrifice. Your glow up is going to require you to do a lot of internal work. It's going to make you very emotional because you're going to realize a lot of things that you lacked in your life. Some people didn't get enough love growing up. Some people didn't get enough attention. There are so many things that you suffered from in your childhood leading up to where you are now. And you need to become the person that you once needed. Maybe you even need yourself right now. It's all about developing a relationship within yourself to hold yourself accountable to, this is who I need to become because I need me, and because if you're looking to have children or you have children, because they need you. This is how you break the cycle. A lot of people are struggling with their mental health. They're struggling with their nutrition. They're struggling with their weight. They're struggling with hormonal acne. And listen, your kids are going to end up struggling. And because you're not doing anything about it or being consistent with changing what is happening or breaking the cycle, these cycles become passed down. And I need you to pay attention. These cycles end up being passed down. They end up living and growing with you until you decide to change, until you decide to reinvent yourself, rebrand yourself, and really just commit to the transformation that needs to be done. Sometimes it means a new friend circle. Sometimes it means detaching yourself from bad habits like drinking, smoking, overeating, eating processed food, and we're gonna get there. But a lot of the time, the reason why you're not glowing up is because you didn't have proper guidance and direction and you're lost. A lot of people are out here surviving. We don't know how to be an adult, but you're also not doing good things for yourself beyond work and making money, but doing the healthier things for your mental peace, for your emotional peace, your spirituality. You're not really doing the actual work that is necessary on the inside for you to feel good about yourself consistently. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to start to learn new methods and ingrain them into your brain. A lot of the times you have habits that have been passed on from generations. This is how you're going to break your generational curses. This is how you're going to break generational cycles or limiting beliefs. Learning new methods, better coping methods, healthier ways of treating yourself, healthier ways of being kinder and softer to yourself. That is how you are going to glow up. When you treat yourself like you are the queen or the king that you are. Because right now you're probably underperforming as a queen and a king. And trust me, the things that you are currently doing or saying to yourself or how you are treating yourself isn't even of the standard of a queen or a king. Whatever that standard looks like for you, I need you to reach it. Which leads to number 2, terrible eating habits that have been throwing off your hormones, your gut health, your mental health. A lot of people are struggling with high cholesterol, high cortisol, high blood pressure, obesity, gut health issues, PCOS, a lot of issues, hormonal imbalances, hormonal acne, the list goes on. Body image, self-esteem, low confidence. Did you know a lot of the times, I'm going to say 99%, and I'm giving myself the number, 99% of the times it's your food, what you put in your mouth, that is the reason why you cannot glow up. A lot of people are out here looking for quick fixes, and that's number 3. But I'm gonna talk about the food right now. You're looking for quick fixes, fast diets. You wanna lose 20 pounds in 1 week and you wanna do a water cleanse, a juice cleanse, this kind of cleanse. You wanna cut out sugar. You wanna be a keto. You wanna do a keto diet. You wanna become vegan. Listen, here's the advice that I give to everyone or anyone that would ask for it. I'm gonna tell you, even though you didn't ask. If it's not sustainable, if it's something that you cannot do in a year or for the rest of your life, you're going to struggle with it. You're going to struggle with a diet that is very hard and that is not sustainable. I get it if you're doing it for 30 days, but what a lot of people don't realize is even after you've lost all the weight, if you don't change your mindset, your habits, it's not ingrained into your routine, you will go back to your old self. It's not about, oh, I need to lose 20 pounds. No, it's about building an actual foundation of changing your entire life. When you get to that goal, you should be a new person with better habits. You know how to eat. You are working out and you are doing this for your overall health. Not to say, oh, I lost 30 pounds and this is how I look. then you're going to continue to struggle. You need to pay attention to what you're putting into your body. And a lot of people will be putting in these pre-made, warmed up foods that are coming from a box, coming from a bag filled with a ton of sugar, a ton of refined flour, a bunch of refined, sugary, salty shit. Okay? And listen, it's not good for you and it's not good for your children. Like I mentioned in number 1, we're passing down habits because we didn't have guidance from the past. If you came across this video, you have no excuse to change your life after this video. You have no excuse for why you can't do better after this video, because you don't understand what you put into your mouth. And if you have kids or you're looking to have kids, it's really important for you to understand quality right now. Quality, the ingredients, using the Yuka app to scan the boxes, the bags, anything that you're going to put in your mouth. I know it takes time, but it's going to be better in the long run. And I'm not 100%, oh my God, I can't eat this. Oh my gosh, I have to be strict. But if 99% of what you put in your mouth is from a cardboard, you can warm it up. It's a frozen dinner or a frozen lunch. It has a ton of gravy, a ton of sugar, a ton of sauce, a ton of that ingredients that you don't even understand. Why do you expect your gut and your hormones to be balanced? A lot of people are struggling to have children. You don't even realize that the alcohol, the cannabis, the other substances, the food that you put in your mouth, the tons of juice, the tons of sodium, the oils, the ingredients are throwing off your hormones, especially as a woman. When your hormones are off, it's going to be really hard to reproduce. It's going to be hard to accept yourself. It's going to be hard to love your body. It's going to be hard to be a positive person because your mood is going to be all over the place, just like your eating habits. So the reason why you're struggling to glow up and become your hotter, healthier, happier self, and you are probably just moody, always saying that, oh, I'm just a girl, is because you're lazy when it comes to your food. You could be better at it. And I don't even want to hear, groceries are so expensive. You know what? If I came and assessed your carts, I would probably find a bunch of cereal, bread, pasta, all of stuff. All of this refined sugars and starch. And you know what? That is actually what makes you more hungry. So a lot of people end up feeding their kids because you think your kids are going to be full, but it just gives you an insulin spike. It quickly satisfies your hunger, and then you're hungry again. And then you just constantly eat because you're not eating anything that's clean, right? The body just eats it up, turns it into fat immediately, and you're still hungry. And your kids, they end up repeating that cycle. And then a lot of kids are now obese. They're struggling with a ton of issues at school. Kids are bullying them. Kids are making fun of them. They are not eating their lunch, right? The quality of the food has just gone down, and now they're mentally struggling. They're also struggling in school to pay attention, to get good grades, to focus, because they're drinking tons of juice, tons of sugar, tons of crap ingredients. That is just like adults struggling right now because social media has your attention. And you know what is the most expensive thing in the world? Where you put your attention. And your attention usually is in your phone on these apps when you could be cooking, you could be learning how to be better to your body, learning ingredients, learning even 5 minutes a day. You could learn a new recipe. But some of you guys will say, oh, I don't have time, or groceries are too expensive. Look at what you're buying. Look at what you're buying. It doesn't even multiply. Don't even go and buy a bag of potatoes at Costco that could cost $6. No, you go to the grocery store and you get the pre-made potatoes or hash browns in the freezer that you can warm up for breakfast and lunch or maybe dinner. And that costs the same amount as those potatoes, where those potatoes, you could have made mashed potatoes, you could have made roasted potatoes, you could have baked potatoes, you could make so many amazing meals. Sweet potatoes, but no, you go and buy the pre-made sweet potato fries that are the same cost, but you can only eat them once because there's not that much in the bag anyways. But if you bought a whole pack of sweet potatoes, it would pretty much cost the same, but it would be cleaner, it would be healthier, it would make you feel better. It does take more work to cut these things up. I get it. Take in that you are feeding these things to your kids and yourself, and you don't feel good. How do you think your kids feel? Okay, so you are choosing not to glow up based on also lack of information, and that's why I'm giving it to you. Let me know, guys, if I'm helping you out here. I want you guys to grasp why you are not glowing up and you are struggling or suffering mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially. There are so many reasons why. Most of the times it's going to link back to your food. Also, if you're constantly ordering fast food or going through the drive-thru, I believe last week I had 2 or 3 matchas and my stomach has not gone down. I cannot see my abs yet. Baby, I had abs 2 weeks ago. I'm also just deflating from my cycle, the time of the month. But I'm not usually this bloated, and I think it's because of the almond milk. So girl, I'm gonna be on a cleanse. I'm on a cleanse and I'm not removing anything from my body. I'm not doing a cleanse like that. I'm removing the thought of me buying any matchas for the next few weeks because I need to see my abs. I personally want to see my abs right now. You don't have to. Everyone has different goals. But you got to pay attention to what you put in your body and what's throwing off your gut health, what's throwing off your hormones as well. Because there's no reason why I need to be bloated. I hate being bloated. I'm not gassy, but I just noticed that and did you know? Because while I was ordering my matchas, I was like, can you not put any sugar in there? They said, oh, the matcha is already sweetened. I've had matcha from 2 different cafes and they said, oh, the matcha is already sweetened. I said, so y'all are even consuming the sugar. Probably didn't even know there was sugar in your matcha. And guess what sugar does? Sugar accumulates that body fat, babe. It accumulates the body fat. You're feeding your bacteria. The bacteria makes you crave more sugar. Then you have more sugar cravings for other things. And then you see the weight gaining and you're wondering, oh, why am I not seeing results? I don't really drink matchas. I just wanted to have a few this weekend. I wanted to sit on patios. I'm gonna just stick to my coffee and just stick to my coffee or my tea or my lemon juice with water. I'm sorry. I cannot, maybe just once a month for matcha for me. It may go down very well for you guys, but everyone has different goals and I'm gonna stick to mine. Let's talk about number 3. Another reason why a lot of people are not glowing up is because you're constantly in survival mode. You're always struggling mentally, physically, emotionally, struggling, baby. How are you going to glow up if you're struggling or on survival mode? It's also going to impact your mood. I mentioned this many videos back. When you are off in your mood or your hormones are imbalanced or you're not feeling good about your body, you are going to tarnish the relationships around you. You are easily irritated. You probably don't even realize your mood affects your relationships. It affects your intimacy with your partner. It affects the interactions that you have with people. It just affects so much within you that you don't even realize that when you are constantly in survival mode, you are not going to be able to glow up. And oftentimes we are in constant survival mode because of our choices, poor choices that we continue to make. I'm going to list some examples, like lack of sleep. Lack of sleep for me, when I'm exhausted, I can eat down the house. And I'm usually not trying to eat healthy food. I'm looking for any sugar in my house. That is what I'm looking for. When I'm exhausted, I just need something to really kill my, literally, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just a different person. That's what I'm trying to say. You're such a different person when you make poor choices that only spiral to self-sabotage. And all of this just leads to you being reliant on quick fixes. When you're tired, you're exhausted. A lot of people opt in for being reliant on energy drinks, being reliant on caffeine. You do not want to be reliant on anything and anyone, all right? A lot of people are reliant on motivation rather than holding themselves accountable. Another quick fix, when you're emotional, you're moody. Again, like I mentioned, when I'm tired, I opt in for food. So a lot of the times when we're making poor decisions, we are going to have terrible coping mechanisms that only lead to self-sabotage. The more you self-sabotage, the more you're going to be in a cycle of survival. How do you fix this? Becoming aware of your triggers, becoming aware of what your cues are. So a lot of times I have clients that will be like, I have a long day, I had a long day at work, or I hate my job, or I don't like my boss, or I don't like the people that I work with. So I come home and I'll pour myself a glass of wine, then leads to a bottle of wine. And then you're just hungover, you missed your kid's evening and you knock out on the couch. And then when you wake up, you're starving. So you open a bag of chips or cookies. Those are poor cues. Having a better coping mechanism. When you come home from work and somebody upset you, get ready and go to the gym. because I'm gonna let it out in the gym. I'm gonna transform my body and I'm gonna transform my mind, because no one is ever gonna have the upper hand on me. And a lot of the times when you allow your triggers to get to you, you give everyone else the power over you, and you're constantly living in survival. And a lot of people have that victim mentality, and that is why they'll never change. That is why you're probably not changing. You're watching all these glow up videos, wondering why I can't change. Hold yourself accountable. Pay attention to your triggers. Pay attention to how you deal with those triggers. Are you reaching for the bottle? Are you reaching to smoke? I remember when I was somebody who enjoyed cannabis, and even till this day, I'll be like, oh, I wish I could feel this way. Or I wish I could, or if I'm going out and I know that I'm not going to be drinking, in my head, I'm like, oh, I wish I could have a vape right now. I wish I could do this right now. But then I remind myself of why I gave it up, right? The mental clarity that I needed. Also the peace. Honestly, I live a better life now. Also just paying attention to those cues of why you want to grab or reach for certain things, right? A lot of us have to give up old ways and old habits. Everyone needs to, not a lot of us, everyone. And that's how you're going to break the cycle of survival. Living in peace, being content, being happy as you're glowing and growing constantly. Number 4, another reason why you are not glowing up, lack of movement. If I knew how to speak patois, I would lay it to you right now. But I'm sorry, I'm so Canadian. I'd sound terrible trying to speak patois. But understand that y'all or une are just so lazy. Y'all so lazy. If a man called you up, and I always say this because I know when I first started 11 years ago, I was a girlfriend for 5 years before I got into training. And I would just go to his house and just wait for him to come from the gym. I would be the girl that would go to his house. His mom would let me in. I would just be chilling in his bed waiting for him. You couldn't pay me to go to the gym or go to a class or anything. You couldn't pay me to be consistent either. It's not until we broke up that I was like, I'm joining the gym. I want to be fine. That man, he didn't even care about me. He could spend hours in the gym. He loved it. And I wanted to understand why he loved the gym so much. So I said, instead of fighting back and forth with him or trying to prove myself to him, I'm going to go to the gym. You're going to see me on Google. I turned that into my fuel to be consistent. A lot of y'all are sitting in relationships that are toxic. Relationships or friendships or work environments that are toxic. And the gym is going to save you. The gym is going to transform you. Whether it's the gym or a Pilates class or some type of class, or going to fitness boot camps where you get to meet other women, especially if you're a mom. I had a mom, she trains with me online, but she also goes to classes where you can bring your baby, and she loves it. She gets to connect with other women and gets to see other interactions with how other people interact with their family and their kids. And honestly, a sense of community. I know we all want to feel like we belong or we're a part of something. Don't stop trying out your different environments until you find one that works for you, and then stay consistent. But even while you are finding a new environment or environment that welcomes you, stay consistent to finding the environment. Go. I don't care how many gyms you have to sign up for, trial memberships you have to sign up for. You need to go to the gym. You need to go to a gym. I know a lot of people are working out at home, but maybe your friend group is in a Pilates class or a yoga class or a stretch class. And guess what? The reason why you're not glowing up is because you're not moving your body. You're not feeling sexy in your body. Guys, I'm wearing this long dress. I would show you the back, but you would be. Let me show you guys my outfit. This dress is so beautiful, and it's cut out in the back. But a lot of y'all are not stepping into finding your own flow and your rhythm in your sensuality, in being feminine and soft and kind and nurturing to yourself, and then the people after. A lot of the times we put the people first, but then we don't even know how to treat ourselves. But if you treated yourself better, you could treat those people even better, and then probably be treated even better because of your new aura. So you need to get moving your body. If you're not moving your body consistently and you feel like it's a drag, it shouldn't even feel like a drag. The fact that you can lift your arms, it's a blessing. The fact that you can walk, move, breathe, it's a blessing. And a lot of you guys take that for granted. When my dad had a stroke, he couldn't talk, he couldn't walk, he couldn't move, he could no longer feed himself. And a lot of you guys would rather shit on yourself every single day, put crap food into your body, sit and watch Netflix, sit and watch Pop the Balloon, sit and watch people on Instagram and other social medias, and you can't even be consistent in your routine to just move your body. You don't have to go to the gym every single day. Get outside or have a treadmill, do something, move, go to a dance class. Make this a part of your life forever, not just for 30 days, not for 1 year, not for 75 hard. Stop seeing fitness or movement as a struggle or a chore. It's not a chore, babe. Matter of fact, doing your laundry or cleaning your house, why do you guys struggle with it after 25? This should be a natural part, especially as a woman, to just nurture and care for your home. Whether you have a family, a partner, or you live by yourself, you should have a standard for how you live and how you show up. Nasty work if you cannot care for your home, your laundry. When did we make women in society so lazy and disgusting? And if I'm coming for you, I'm coming with love. I'm your big sister. Hey, if I needed something to work on, you could call me out. And it's my cleavage, it's always my cleavage. I don't mind. I'm teachable. You could definitely call me out and teach me anything. Hey, if there's any feedback, if you want to provide any feedback, please, anytime, drop it in the comments. But say it with love. Don't be rude, because I will correct you. But listen, it's just unattractive when you're out of shape, out of breath, and you look like you don't care for yourself. Why do you think people would be attracted to you? Or if somebody was attracted to you and they're constantly leveling up, especially a man, he starts working out and then his body changes and then you're just there. You're not doing anything with yourself. Why do you, there are some women that could just beg your man. You should always be working on becoming the better version of yourself, because whether that man wants to stay or leave, at least you know how to work on yourself. You know how to get up and take care of yourself. That is the most attractive thing a woman can do for herself, is stand on her own 2 feet and continue, even when she's tired, to just do something for herself that allows her to glow up, You're going to have better, softer, kinder, caring energy when you take care of yourself, period. And lastly, I had to comb my hair. And lastly, probably one of the most important reasons why you are not glowing up, why your life is not changing, why God is probably not blessing you, is usually because you're hanging around the wrong people for too long and you're attached to them. It could even be a soul tie and you don't even realize, because you've made it normal. You've made their treatment to you normal, their behavior normal. You don't expect better. You don't think you deserve better. You don't think that there's better out there for you. So you put up with low vibrational frequencies. I'm 30 years old and I'm glad I know this now, because the wrong company will have you caught up in drugs, in substances, in sex, in staying out late, or being at the wrong places for no reason, or being at the wrong places for attention or validation, gossip, drama, violence, waking up late. The wrong company, if you aren't careful, is why you are not glowing up. And I know it's hard to remove yourself from people you love or you think you love, but you need to really get clear with who it is that you want to become, because you're standing in your own way by putting up with your own behavior, your own attitude, your own bad habits, or those things from other people. God slowly started to remove what needed to be removed from my life. Sometimes I would fight it. I wouldn't listen or look for the red flags. No, I would find out the hard way. And that's why I have stories to tell. And that's why I tell you right now, you got to get clear with who you want to be. When you become clear with who you want to become, you set a standard for how you treat yourself, how you show up for yourself, your goals, what you tolerate, what you don't tolerate. The sky ends up becoming the limit. And you no longer settle for the bare minimum. You no longer settle for instant gratification or validation. It no longer becomes something that you lust for. It no longer becomes something that you need. because you know what you're working on constantly. And if it doesn't align with you, you don't accept it. If you aren't aligned with yourself, you won't be able to connect and align with what is actually meant for you. You will drag out the process, and that is why you are in survival mode. That is why you're in a hamster wheel for so long. Man, God had to break me, but he broke me. He truly broke me when my dad passed and the breakup happened in the same week. And I was in a city for at least 2 weeks. I didn't know anybody. I started a job. By the grace of God, I had a friend that trusted me in her home, gave me a place to stay, gave me a car to drive, gave me the opportunity to save money and restart my life. And at that point, that is when I decided I'm gonna start learning. I'm gonna stop being stubborn and stop choosing and making my own choices and really start to pay attention. I became single. I was like, I'm gonna work on myself. And sometimes you do need to be single to have your eyes open to what you need to work on. Because I've been in relationships trying to fix everybody. Why are you worried about the other person when you need to be worried about yourself? When you're worried about yourself and you're working on yourself, then you will have more stability because you worked on yourself. When I was in the past relationship, I didn't have a stable job because I was moving for love. Do you think I would do that now? I most definitely would move on my own terms. You know what I mean? Or just make sure that we were aligned. And we shouldn't be dating if we're not aligned. We should also be dating for marriage or long-term partnership, but mostly marriage. A lot of the times we're also giving up our bodies for men or people that just don't love us and don't have the right intentions. So I say that to say, somebody who loves you won't force you to do anything for them or with them until you are ready and until they're consistent with you. Until you have a ring on your finger, period. I'm not even gonna get on that topic. But if you understand what I just said, then you understand that good men have patience. Good friends have patience. So you need to have patience with yourself. When you set a standard for yourself, you don't accept anyone who cannot respect those standards. If you say you don't drink, you shouldn't be hanging around with people who have a problem that you don't drink. If you say you don't smoke, you shouldn't be hanging around with people who are peer pressuring you to do those things. They should be like, my girl doesn't smoke. She doesn't do this. No, don't talk to her. She doesn't allow that. She doesn't do that. You need people who are going to stick up for you and respect you, period. If they don't actually care about you. And I get it. We get so in love and so infatuated. I'm sure there's a deep feeling in your heart that you are meant for more, that you are meant for greater. And the little bits of choices that you make, they add up to your life. You're prolonging your success. You're prolonging who you could possibly become because the choices you make today for instant gratification, instant satisfaction, pleasing others, making others happy, shrinking for others. And this is why you're not glowing up. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely let me know down below. Green hearts. I love talking to you guys. I love sharing my wisdom, everything that I've gone through with you guys. There's so much to come. I pray that God continues to use me, work through me, and bless you. I also pray over you that you will allow God to use you, to mold you, to shape you, to carry your steps forward, that He is your guidance, your protection, and your provider before you seek that from anyone else, that you will find clarity in your steps, and that you'll find comfort in every single day that you are going to be okay. That you move every single day towards the greater good of what God really wants for your life. I truly love you like a sibling. Maybe even better than your sibling, to be honest. I definitely love you more than my sister loved me. So I show up for you guys. I love you. I thank you. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to my channel and seeing my face. Welcome. I'll see you guys in the next one.